forget to subscribe, okay? Dear Diary, last week I shared about my new plant, Gifted, and I told you that there were 3 brown leaves that when I went to get it repotted, I was told that we needed to actually trim one of the leaves that were brown. So when I took her to the plant shop, the woman helping me said, let's cut just one. And then I asked her, well, should we cut all 3 of the brown leaves? And she said, no, let's just cut one so that it doesn't look too bare. And that made sense at that time. You don't want your plant looking like it's struggling. You want it to look full, but as the days went on, I realized that those 2 other leaves were still brown. They were still dead. They were still draining. So in last week's video, I went ahead and I cut them off. It's not gonna look as full, but I realized that there's other leaves that are dying or dead. This is one of them. And this is another one. And as I did, it hit me. How often do we hold on to dead things in our lives simply because of appearance? All right, I want you to grab your journal. This is a good one today, and let's jump into this Dear Diary entry. So, how often do we stay in a place, a job, or even a relationship just because we're afraid of how it will look when we let go? We say, what will people think if I start over? What will it look like if I'm single again? What will it look like if I take time off and I don't actually have it together? But here's what I've learned. Sometimes what looks bare for a season is actually what's healthy. So you don't have to rewind this. Let me say that again. Sometimes what looks bare for a season is actually what's healthy. If I left those 2 leaves, the plant might have looked full, but it wouldn't have been healthy. And the truth is, the appearance can't be the goal. Being healthy is the goal. Because just like Gifted, you can look full on the outside, but still be carrying things that are lifeless. Rather, that's habits, commitments, connections that are no longer serving you where you're growing. Not just where you're going, but no longer serving you for where you're growing, okay? And sometimes the pruning that makes you look bare for a while is exactly what makes space for new life to come in. Maybe that's where you are right now. You've made a hard choice and it feels like you've lost something. But let me remind you, you didn't lose, you released. There's a difference. You released what was draining so you could grow stronger. You released what was dead so that new life could bloom. And I'm going to show you some bee footage of the plant. So I trimmed those additional 2 leaves, which means 3 leaves have been trimmed from this tree. And I'm already seeing even more growth than I saw last week. So today I want to encourage you. Don't be afraid of looking bare. Don't be afraid of starting over. Healthy things grow, and growth sometimes means letting go. So in today's journal entry, this is actually my first journal when I gave my life to Jesus. And I started journaling in this in 2008. I have multiple journals, but this one is very special to me. So I want you to grab whatever journal is special to you. In today's journal, I want you to reflect on, what are you holding on to just because of appearance? Reflect on whether there's something in your life that looks good to others, but is no longer good to you. Write about what it might look like to release it and how you can trust the pruning always leads to growth. Until next time. Oh! Don't forget to subscribe, okay? I am now releasing content here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we have a new newsletter coming out, Threshing Floor, which will be releasing on Thursdays. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, please subscribe, comment, like the video. Any interaction with this video tells the algorithm of YouTube that you like it, and it will put this in front of other people like yourself. I'll see you next time.